And welcome back, and it's the 14th of Feb, the higher plus 5 a day, and let's have a look at the first question. Okay, so ninth algebraic question to start, algebraic fractions question to start. So simplify fully. Now the word fully is a bit of a clue that there's going to be a couple of things that might happen here. So let's wait and see. So top one, difference of two squares. So it's one of these things you recognise or you don't. So it's going to be 2x, 2x plus 5, so minus 5 and plus 5. Now, without doing any math at all, I'm guessing the bottom is either going to have a 2x plus 5 or a 2x minus 5. So that's going to help me factorise the denominator. So I'm going to write 2x and 5 in here. Now, if that's 2x on the left, it must be 3x here, because 2x times 3x is 6x. And if it's 5 on the left, it must be a 2. I just don't know if it's a plus or a minus. And then I just need to run the numbers in my head. So 3 times 5 is 15. But I want it to be a minus 15, so it's going to be minus 5 and plus 2. So in other words, I can cancel out my 2x minus 5s, and that gives me my final answer of 2x plus 5 and 3x plus 2. Now, if you're not comfortable doing the factorising the way that I did it, although I think that one led you fairly well, again, you can use the algorithm method. It will get you there. Or your calculator, of course, will help you. But either way, be careful, but you know it should cancel with one of the ones on the top. Either way, first question done. Next question. Find the value of x. Okay, so this is just an index rule question. So I'm going to change everything to the power of 2. So 2 to the x times 2 squared, which is 4, to the power of x plus 3 is equal to 2 to the power of 4, which is the same as 16. Then if I collect my powers on the left-hand side, multiply means add. So it's going to be x plus 2x plus 6, so in other words I've expanded this bracket here, is equal to 4. 3x is equal to minus 6 from both sides is minus 2, so x equals minus 2 over 3. Question done. Next question. It's a good old coordinate geometry question, isn't it? So find the equation of line 2. Now, all equations of straight lines are in the form y equals mx plus c. So in other words, I need a gradient and I need a crossing point. I feel I need more. Oh, okay. I've missed an important part of the question. There we go. So it gives me the equation of line 1 down here. So I need that in order to work out some value, so I have the scale, don't I? So it must be the case that using the equation here, that if x equals 0, y equals minus 24, which means this value here is minus 24. And you can see that is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, which means this is minus 18, this is minus 12, and this is minus 6. Or in other words, each square is 6, which means this value here is going to be plus 12. I still need something else, don't I? I'm going to need this x value here. I just realised what a very cleverly worded question this is. I like this question. So I need the x value where it crosses the x-axis. Now, that is going to be where y is equal to 0. So I'm again looking at this equation here, and it tells me, well, where can I do it? Let's do it over here in this box. So for line 1, 0 is equal to 3 over 2x minus 24, which means that 24 is equal to 3 over 2x, times 24 by 2 divided by 3 is going to give me, well, 24 times 2 is 48, divided by 3 is 16, which means x equals 16, which means that this is equal to 16. Now x is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares across, which means that each square is 2 across and 6 going down, which then means I can work out my gradient, can't I? Because I know that this here, so I'll just nudge the screen, this here is 18. So for line 2, my gradient, well, I'm going down 12 and I'm going across 18, and minus 12 over 18 simplifies down to minus 2 over 3. And my c value is 12, which means my equation of line 2 is y equals minus 2/3 x plus 12. So I've done the first part. It's quite difficult, but really well-worded question, really clever question. So it really shows understanding. Then part B says, are the lines perpendicular? Well, the definition of perpendicular, there's a few ways of doing this, but the easiest way of doing it is just to show that if you multiply gradient 2 by gradient 1, which is 3 over 2, this gives you minus 1, and therefore all you need to say is as product equals -1, therefore perpendicular. Obviously you can write the word perpendicular if you want, but this is just like a right angle, it means perpendicular. Question done. Final question of today. A triangle has sides 8, 9 and 13 centimeters. Calculate the difference between the smallest and largest angles. Okay, so I've got a triangle where I know all the sides, but I don't know any of the angles. But what I do know, which way shall I do it? So let's call this 8, let's call this 9, and let's call this 13. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a slightly better job of drawing this a bit more accurately. So 8, 9 and 13. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. And I'm going to work out this angle here, which I'm going to call angle A. Now, again, the reason I've drawn a reasonable triangle is it must be the case that angle A is my biggest angle, angle B, and then I've got angle C. So just allow me to work out all the angles, won't it? So let's have a go. So using cosine rule, it is the case that cos of A equals, now you might just know the rule, or you might have to reverse it out, but I'm just going to write it down in one go. So that's going to be equal to 8 squared plus 9 squared minus 13 squared divided by 2 times 8 times 9. So if I get my calculator out and do this very carefully, so shift cos -1 of 64 plus 81 minus 169 divided by 2 times 8 times 9, it gives me 99.59 degrees. I'm going to use 2 decimal places. That is angle A. Now, to work out angle B, I'm going to have to use a sine rule, aren't I? So sine of B over 9 is equal to, so B over its opposite angle is equal to sine of A, which is sine of 99.59, over the side length opposite, which is 13, which means that B equals sine -1 of, what am I doing, 9 sine 99.59 divide by 13. God, these questions do get difficult, don't they? Now, very carefully my calculator. So sine -1, press the fraction button, makes it easier. I have 43.05 degrees. Which means the other angle, so I'm writing this a bit all over the place, aren't I? The other angle is 180 minus 99.59 minus 43.05, which is equal to, so 180 minus 99.59 minus 43.05, which is equal to 37.36. What a question. Now, what does it want me to do? It says calculate the difference between the largest and the smallest angles. Now, in a different color, just because I'm kind of going in a reverse circle here, aren't I? So it's not very helpful. So the largest angle is 99.59 and the smallest angle is 37.36, which means the answer to my question is going to be 37.36 on my calculator, is going to be 62.23. And not very nice, but really sort of well-worded final trigonometry questions, because you're going to have to work out to use a cosine rule, sine rule, bit of reverse. Again, really well done. Nice mix of questions today. As ever, the questions are getting more interesting this month, definitely a bit more challenging, but usual thing, do like, subscribe. Any comments down below, let me know, or anything you're not sure about, let me know, and I will come back to you. That's it. Thanks all. See you tomorrow.